Some good news and some bad news. Britt Del Barba stepped aside for a second, and we could not bring Ted Lasso back for Sidekicks again.
It's going to take at least a month or two. That's how long it's going to be before Ted Lasso gets back here. And it'll be too soon if it's me.
Be a goldfish just for this segment. Still, if you could, Chris Black and Francis Stevens. And we've got a lot to talk about because we've had a lot of good games, boys and girls. I think one of the storylines that has stood out, guys, there's been so much parity on both sides.
Yeah, there really has, and it's been a lot of fun, especially on this girls' side. We have two games tonight. Got texting back and forth with Mason Lowry, who was over at Sylvania Northview with the Northview game. I was on the other side of town with Notre Dame, Anthony Wayne, and it was 1-0 there before we even had a goal at our site. Both games 1-0 in this round. You saw 0-0 last round with Anthony Wayne all the way through PKs. Notre Dame got to this game with a last-second goal, practically literally in the last round. So it's been a lot of fun. So many people were in it till the end.
One was enough to win plenty of games in this round. One is not going to be enough to put away Southview. I mean, we learned that this week in the game that you called. It's going to be one of the best that you've ever called.
It is. And it was really weird just to kind of see how that game was going. I mean, 5-2, I put them in a bag and put a toe tag on them. I'm like, this game's over. But then again, Ashland lost one of their best players after that fifth goal. All of a sudden now they come back down the field. They've gotten a great goal from Nate Shuley. Minutes later, Tyler Plicki hits a great free kick off the bar down, off the goalkeeper's back, and then to make it 5-4. And I'm sitting here like, this is going to have a chance to be a 5-5 game. Sure enough, they get a free kick, 5-5, and then again, Tyler Plicki puts it away with that penalty kick to make it 6-5. And I mean, they know how to make games interesting. Saturday sets up a matchup between two teams. Same style, very vertical, a lot of speed in areas. It's going to be an absolute track meet at Southeast Soccer. And me and Mason cannot wait to call that one. And, you know, the game earlier in the year, phenomenal game, 2-1. Really, really good goals, all of them in the first half. And the second half, very defensive stalemate between the two. I think this time's going to be a little bit different because now you're playing for the last 16 spots. So it's going to be interesting between those two.
Chris, which games are most appealing to you?
Well, yeah, so then it'll be interesting on the other side. You've got that Toledo St. Francis team that ended up dispatching a pesky, super annoying, in the best complimentary way, Springfield team that you kept thinking they're back into it. Are they going to? They put them away. So, I mean, that's a team that did really well there. They scored early and then held on. So that's going to be interesting to see how they react to the next game. Maybe they're playing a little bit wider, complete game opponent that time. We're not just kind of worried about really mostly Springfield's attacking three. So they're going to be tested. Can they score early, and then can they hang on? And you know they're back into this situation where, you know, a little bit of pressure, right? You're there again. Can you do it again? So it'll be fun to see what they can do.
What I'll say about the other side, this game has not been played since 2019.
Yeah.
Northview's won 4 straight against St. Francis. Can they change it? The only difference is this St. Francis team, they got some pedigree. They were on that field a year ago, had to knock off their rival 1-0. It was a great moment in that situation. Northview hasn't been there since 2020 when they played on that field, lost to Anthony Wayne 2-1 in the district final. So this game has a lot of interesting things, but I'll tell you what the key in that game is going to be is what Brendan Wisher can do. He's very dangerous getting into space, and he scored a phenomenal goal against St. John's the other night.
You know, this ties into Chris's point from earlier. One of the most fun parts about the playoffs is there a team that's handling the moment that doesn't have a history of doing that? And this year, that's the Ottawa Hills girls with a chance to win their first district title ever.
I remember when that program was started. I was actually coaching at Ottawa Hills back in 2010, 2011. In 2011, they started as a club program, and really not a lot of kids because, again, you're trying to deal with field hockey that has been, the queen bee of the building, and they've had state championships. They went up. A lot of girls have gone on to Division I schools and played field hockey. They have some really, really good players. I think Jessie Cozy's done a tremendous job. She's been there from day one, has really got that thing going. They've had those years of we're going to struggle, but you know what? They've had some players that have gotten into some of the clubs at GTFC, Paysetter as well. Potier, I really like her. I think she is a great leader, an excellent young lady on the soccer field, can really bring a lot of things to the game, super dynamic, and I think she changes it a lot for that Lady Green Bears team.
Plenty more playoff soccer to come this weekend, we've got some playoff football too, and we will talk about that next on Sports Nightly. Chris Black, Francis Stevens, always happy to have you with us.